Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Alisha Brashay here at Cosmic Gateway, and this is going to be the intuitive insights for May, or maybe just a little bit beyond May into June, depending on when I get around to doing the next one. Or, of course, if you're just randomly finding this and it aligns to you, then whenever you find this message is perfect. So, if you're new and you haven't seen these, welcome. Thanks for being here. There will be three intuitive insights based on the artwork that I have created here behind me. So there'll be A, B, and C. I'm going to do, well, I've set an intention before I sat down to do this recording. So I guess it's not a new intention, but it's just delivering it in a different way. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So basically, what I set the intention before I hit the record button to share this with you or to record this for you is that everybody who listens to this gets exactly what they need. Now, that might be the entire reading, it may be the entire 3 readings, it might just be one sentence or one card from a particular reading. But really, what it's designed to do is to give you some intuitive hits and insights that would be complementary to your own intuitive knowing, and to help guide you to trust in whatever you feel May is bringing for you, or the next part of your journey, or however you're taking this information and message. So, I mean, just a little insight into how I listen to other readers when I do at times, because that's something that I enjoy listening to, is how other readers creatively express themselves. And sometimes I just have it as background music, while I'm doing the dishes or whatever it might be. But often how I interpret it is it's very multidimensional. And I understand that some readers do deliver that in some way. Is I'll be thinking about something or have an intuitive hit, and generally something will pop up and I know to listen to it. And I know when I'm guided to listen to it that it's giving me further insight into what is already coming through. So really it's helping facilitate the strengthening your own intuition, your own downloads, your own insight, and it's giving you an external validation or confirmation. And so, yeah, my intention that I set before sitting down and recording this was that everyone will get exactly what they need. So without further ado, let's get into it. This will be A, the first card here, this piece of artwork. So if you've chosen the first one, A, let's begin. I hope you're having an amazing month. So far, we are already into the first week. Can you believe how quickly this year is going? Okay, so we've got 10 of Wands. Oof. Put down your burdens as the first card coming out. Straight away, when I feel into the message of that card, oh yeah, okay. And then we've got 4 of Cups. Nervous about chance. So we've got, oof, okay. And then we've got 5 of Swords, challenges and problems. And then we've got bondage, issues of control and freedom. Oh, okay. All right. So starting off with, I would say a very strong, mentally conflicting passageway to start off with. So let's get into the breakdown of it. I'm also going to feel into the energy of it. So as soon as I tune into it, it feels like there's this sense of pressure or burden or discomfort within the heart-centered space. So what that says to me straight off the bat is there's, I don't want to say blockages, maybe carrying excess energy, carrying excess. It's a feeling of carrying excess in the heart that is, if this is like going back over past timelines, nostalgia about past events, carrying heavy burdens, having a lot of worry and stress on your mind, going through a testing phase or initiation phase, I would say that the key to that is unblocking whatever you're carrying in your heart, because that's where I feel initially, that's where I feel the energy and the pressure. So with the first card that came out, is 10. Can you see that? 10 of Wands, so putting down your burdens. So that's a really beautiful card in the sense that it's showing you that you're coming to the end of whatever it is that you have been carrying probably for a long time, whether that's this lifetime going into the multidimensional realm. But whatever that is, it feels like it is in relation to well, and how I'm interpreting this is what's picking up to me is the red and the yellow. So it's very much around personal power, strength, self-identity, and also feeling safe, secure. Could be financial burdens, or living situation, home, environment, whatever. It's related around like the base chakra, solar plexus. It's that there where I feel is the heavy burdens, or where the energy is most present at this time. And I feel like that is it's disconnecting you from feeling into your intuition, trusting in your heart, your soul's path, knowing what's beyond the horizon, what's coming. This may be a very uncertain time for you right now, because as we're moving, well, it's very collective, but it feels like has this shaky feeling. It feels like I'm not sure. It's like an instability sensation that's sort of coming through, feeling very unable to access your light essence, your knowing, your navigation system. And that correlates to like there's too much energy that's focused or centered around these burdens or stress, however you relate to that. And so the wisdom that's coming through, or the insight that's coming through, is don't forget to pay attention to what the heart is telling you, and pay close attention to the subtle feelings, rather than if you've got a lot of mental chatter happening or a lot of indecisiveness. It's like, come back to the heart. Just like keep it really plain and simple. Come back to the heart. And if there is a heaviness there, maybe looking at doing things of like energy alignment, frequency sounds, guided meditations, just focusing on clearing out the heart so that you can access that wisdom. What else? We've got the Four of Cups. So nervousness. This is real. To me, this has a nostalgia feeling to it. Hang on, I'll just pick up that card and show you. So I've got the Four of Cups here. Nervous about chance. So this card to me, Four of Cups, is our emotions. It's about our relationships, our connections. So there may be, especially with the energies that have just been present, this may be reevaluating past relationships. It may be reevaluating or just diving deep into the emotional world. So there's mental energy, there's emotional energy. It might be that you're processing by outpouring of emotions, which is always a good thing in my books. Like if energy is releasing in that way, it's coming out. And there may be, just as I look at that card, there's the Four Cups and they have question marks on them. So that indicates to me straight away that there's, well, as it says, nervous about taking chances. So perhaps there's possibilities, pathways, opportunities that are in relation to emotional fulfillment, relationships, connections, emotional stability, things like that. It feels like you're considering some options of which way to go that is going to bring you into understanding what is best for you at this time. And it may not be, what wants to come through is it may not be what's best for you in the long term, but it's getting you to the long term, what is best for you. So there may be options that are considered for what is appropriate now for the short term that will lead into making, better choices, or situations that will evolve into things that is going to give you stability emotionally, connection, people, friendships, relationships, anything around people and connections that is going, and it could be also around collaborations too, that just sort of wanted to, so it might be, you know, which way do I partner with, you know, creating a project. And it's like this, there's this just deep contemplation energy that's kind of moving through with that card. I'm going to show you the next two cards together because they are very, very similar, have similar sort of background colors, and they just feel like they really go hand in hand. So we've got the Five of Swords, and then we've got Bondage. So just having a look at those two cards there. That is a very masculine energy, those two cards. I see the character that's in both of those cards as a masculine, and obviously he's climbing up this hill. So the energy may be feeling dense, harsh, hard to overcome. And then obviously we've got the sword. So that's very much mental based energy, conflicting thoughts. You know, if you haven't listened to my energy update that I put out a week ago, maybe go back and listen to that part about thoughts and intrusive thoughts. That may be something to have a listen to, because it feels like, just gonna slow it down for a second because I want to tune into the energies. The beautiful image that I get as I tune into that is that there's this, what feels like is represented in your mind through thoughts, feels like a massive obstacle, mountain to climb. And it feels very constricting. It feels very harsh. It feels like being, you know, sort of, bonded, tied up, feeling that you don't have the freedom to move, to be expansive, however that relates to you. Maybe it's that you want to travel or go somewhere and you just feel this you feel like there's many obstacles and challenges that need to be overcome in order to get to the expansive state of feeling a sense of freedom, feeling a lightness, a joy, where you want to head to. And what wants to come through is that I think a lot of the problems and the challenges, and I laugh as I say this, I think a lot of the problems and the challenges that feel very heavy and burdensome are more what is created in the mind and not actual reality of it. So I think the guidance that wants to come through around that is maybe, okay, well, what wants to come through is maybe processing out all the obstacles and challenges that you feel are being presented for you that aren't enabling you to move ahead, whether that's journaling or speaking to a friend or a practitioner. And it's like just by airing it out, by speaking it, by verbalizing it with the intention of kind of dissipating that energy, it feels like that energy leaves and then you can see it for what it is. And then the energy starts to shift and move and you realize that what felt like it was once Mount Everest to climb is just like a little tiny hill to get to where you want to be. And that's kind of the feeling that I get around that, is that there's this it's the energy that surrounds through the thoughts, through the emotions, that's actually keeping you feeling constricted and controlled and not being able to liberate yourself in where you want to head to. And, you know, take that into whatever circumstance or situation is being presented for you. Ooh, all right. Oh, nice. We've got some. Okay. So I've just pulled from another deck. And I've kind of, as I was pulling, I was like, what's some of the solutions that are coming through? So we've sort of put down the baseline current energies. And I feel like that's probably the energies that are being carried over from the weekend. If you're watching this as soon as I put it out, we've just moved through the eclipse. So it has been this kind of death rebirth. So that may be still lingering, but that's clearing so that more space can be created within your life, within your essence, within your being, to make way for what's coming through. And this may be on the horizon, but not being able to be clear to you at this point in time, but the energy is certainly present. Going back to what I was saying when I was reading into those last two cards, was that mountain, that analogy of climbing that mountain, there is a lot of energy and sunlight that's kind of beaming over the top. So I feel like it's this phase of a pocket of uncomfortable initiation, simulation, however you want to put it, feels as though it's leading you into something that you're not aware of. And this is a really welcome blessing and change and pleasant surprise. And I feel like it's sort of going to come out of nowhere, quite unexpectedly. So what's come through was in the solution, we've got the creativity, which is number 35, and we've got visualization, which is number 40. I'll show you those cards there if you want to have a look at them. A lot of blue, purple, throat, higher chakra kind of energy that's coming through. Interesting. We've got imagination, focus, experience, manifestation, and then we've got imagination again. This is in the text, expression, originality, and passion. So what that speaks to me is that there is the solution or the guidance to kind of move out of that energy and into a more comfortable space, or where you're being called to at this time is working with your gifts, working with your strengths in the form of imagination, creativity, visualization. So it could be working with things like tapping, doing techniques of being able to ask your soul, your higher self, show me what is my future timeline. So it could be in meditation, it could be in dialogue, it could be journaling. I did a whole video on this not that long ago. I think it was back in April, about how through our creativity, that is how we enhance our connection to our soul and our guidance system. So it may be, I think this is a very specific message that's coming through for one person, is that it's like there's a creative project that you put down and it wants to be picked back up. So whatever that is, whatever you've kind of put to the wayside, even if it's just a hobby, it's not even, something that you do for a project or work or anything. There's something that has been put down over the last couple of months that wants to be re-engaged with. It's like the next layer of it is ready to be worked with. And it's not just about picking that up, it's about being able to connect with the creativity, and it's being able to connect with the new energy that that wants to come through. So what else? I'm just going to tune into those cards. Okay, and for some others, it may not be a project that you've already engaged with. It might be starting something new, or for other people, it may just be getting the creative energy moving in your household, in your home, in your body, being able to just dance, sing, and just working with, cooking, whatever it is, simple things in your day. It's incorporating in your day-to-day how you can work with your own energy and creative expression, and you might surprise yourself. You might be pleasantly surprised. The word passion really stands out to me. So reconnecting with things that you are passionate about, whether that's research, looking into esoteric wisdom, information, but it feels like there's also this feeling of uncovering things that you have embarked on before, but going at it at a deeper level. So however that looks to you. And so 40, so 40, so we're looking with the number and energy and essence of Gaia, of Mother Earth, grounding, actualizing, bringing into physicality. We've got the 3, so which is creativity, writing, community based, and we've got 5, so we've got the change there. So working with those 3 vibrational numbers. And once again, there's this person meditating and connecting with this divine consciousness that's pouring down. And there's there's a full moon above, so you may have tapped into. This might just be confirming, tapping into insights that you have gained over the last weekend or last week or so. And what I want to say to that is, if you're pondering on insights that have come through, now's the time to really take the action on it. Even if it's the smallest step, working with that. Okay. Okay, so now just pulling another. I'm actually working with 4 decks. These readings. I couldn't pin it down to 3. We've got alignment, gracious receptivity, and crystal keys. So alignment. Oh, there's so much in there. I'll show the cards because there's so much detail, so much information. Hang on. There we go. Just hold it there for a second. The first thing that comes through as I look at the combination of these cards is keep it really simple. Don't overanalyze things. Don't overwork things in your mind. Don't get overly complex. Keep it really simple, basic, because that's where the greatness is for you. So alignment, obviously, finding yourself coming back into alignment, being able to work with the simplistic things that you know uplifts your frequency, your energy, your vibration, that connects you into your creative aspect, or being in that flow state. That's what I really feel with that. Being able to come into that flow, harmony, resonance. There's dolphins in there. Obviously alignment, I always think about energy alignment, realigning our energy field. And so that might be something that can help just spur you on. So in the center, we have gracious receptivity. 2 things come to mind for me with that gracious receptivity. Obviously, there's a lot of abundance energy, so that may come in, financial windfall. That might come in unexpected ways, but and it may not be just around money. It might be just receiving what you need to get to the next step. And then obviously the crystal keys. I always associate keys like crystal. I think of crystalline. I think of illumination. But keys is always opening doorways to consciousness and information, and accessing divine gifts, abilities, things like that. But the gracious receptivity is a very soft feminine energy to me. So being in that flow state, there's a lot of very feminine energy that wants to come through this reading, that wants to be accessed by you. If you're not in that feminine flow state, it's like being able just to almost flick a switch and be able to kind of step into that divine goddess aspect of yourself. Kind of brings in a lot of the words that want to come through is brings through a lot of desirable experiences, tangible, practical things, and it weeds out the unnecessary mind chatter and the unnecessary components in your life. So it's the image that I got as I was saying that, it's like it weeds out, it creates a pathway, and it brings in. So it's like, imagine a pathway that's all cluttered and clustered, and that's the energetic field. It's it has this very closed in kind of overgrown feeling of sensation to it. And then it's almost like by changing in and allowing this divine essence of feminine energy just to run through you, it just clears that pathway. And it's like this opening, creates this opening, and then all the things that want to align and come in to your experience just have that clear pathway that they can come to you. So it's like this feeling or sensation that's going on. Wow. Okay. There's a lot going on. We've got the Magdalene energy. So just, I won't go into that too much, but that there to me just confirms being in that sort of divine feminine essence and energy and connecting with that aspect of yourself, regardless of gender. So it doesn't matter if you're male or female, but it's connecting with the receptivity energy, the ethers, and bringing it into physical manifestation. As I said that, I pulled the secret card. I'll just show that one there. Typically, the secret card talks about, and it could have two components, but the first thing I thought about was that old book, The Secret. So just as I said, the word manifestation, that flipped out. So it's like being in that energy and essence and flow of the feminine energy allows you to be able to receive your manifestations more rapidly, but it's more words just eluded me. Definition, more specific definition. It's like feeling as though it comes to you in a form that is exactly what it is that you have been asking for. It's like a carbon copy. The universe delivers to you a carbon copy of your desires, your passions, what it is that you're, it's not, often when we manifest something, it'll always come back to us in a different form that is exactly what we need, but it's not how we envisioned it, right? But this one feels like this is coming exactly as you may have seen it in a vision, a dream, a download. And I feel like towards the end of that month, there's that really, oh my goodness, aha, wow, like it's a wow moment of this was shown that this was coming, and this is exactly how it's shown up. And I feel like it's kind of on a, it's not a small manifestation. It feels like quite a powerful big one. And then, okay, we've got the serendipity card and revelations. So I almost feel like I want to go talk about this card first. Interesting. I've just noticed a pattern here. Revelation. So coming into new insights, downloads, obviously revelations, understanding things at a deeper level, possibly seeing things in a way that you've never seen it before, even though you may have looked at this particular aspect of wanting answers. You've looked at it in 100 different ways, and nothing has really kind of made 100% sense. And then all of a sudden it feels like this drop in of, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's almost like, metaphorically speaking, a moment of being struck by insight and inspiration, lightning coming through, just as I look at that card. So be prepared towards the end of the month. Obviously, I was touching on something that was talking about a big manifestation, something paying off, the endurance of the good work that you've done in the past coming in and gifting you for the hard work that you've put in the past coming into fruition in a big way. And then obviously this aha, and it's probably, I feel like those two components are very intertwined, because I get the sense that it's like when that thing manifests, materializes, or comes into your reality, I feel like that comes with the revelation of then being able to look back and see how you got to that point in time. And I feel like that's going to really take you into quite a magical energy, because we're finishing off with the serendipity card. So you see the star above the head and all that color illuminating. So it's like being in this playful, once again, being in this playful, joyful energy that is surrounding, being surrounded by magic. So it feels like um, there's this air or essence that is lighting up your world, changing the nature of your reality, and giving you, like as I finish up on this reading, I feel this deep sense of peace, tranquility, contentment. That was the word I was looking for. C word, contentment. Um, and a lot of gratitude for how far you've come. It feels like there's an air of like reflection energy towards the end of the month that makes you go, I'm so glad I, endured through and pushed through, because there's like this, now I know where I'm heading. Now I have the resources that I can move forward freely. So it feels like what's starting off in the beginning of this reading and how it's ending is like day and night, black and white. It feels like there's a big breakthrough that's moving through your month, through this reading. And as I look, the final thing that I'll say is, as I look at the final 4 cards that have come out, they're all in tones of orange, yellow, red, and even a little bit of pink. So this is very much based on physicality, very much based in the 3D world, but it's a higher timeline version, because it feels like there's a lot of physical changes that are occurring that are benefiting you. Could be health improving, could be finances, can be home. It feels like some big piece of the puzzle is kind of aligned and taken care of, that then puts all these burdens to rest. How we began the reading, it's like all that sort of goes to the wayside because everything is kind of corrected within itself. So I hope that helps. That was quite a long reading. I didn't expect it to go so long, but that is the summary for the intuitive insights for May into June of 2023. Oh, all right, so let's move on to the second card, which will be C. Oh, sorry, B. So that will be this piece of artwork here. So if you've chosen this one, this is C, and we'll jump into that reading. I'm just going to clear the energy. We can start afresh. All right. Let's see what wants to come through. I'm gonna pull the work from the cards in different order. I hope your May has been good so far. So pull and see what wants to come through. So far we have Magdalene, we have heart and soul. So far we have, I think that's Mother Mary in the heart and soul card, or actually it could, no, forget that. I think it's Mary Magdalene. I'm making assumptions here. Crucifixion, the lovers. Okay. All right, I'll just show you those cards and then we'll just. So we've got the very feminine energies starting to come through in this reading. And then we have these, so the crucifixion lovers card. All right, just give me a second. I'm just going to feel into what this wants to talk to me about. This, automatically I hear the words divine partnership. So I feel like this is very much related to relationships, whether that's external or your internal or both. Take it as it resonates for you. But I've kind of fixated on the Lovers card, and that card to me really talks about two people coming together in union, or finding that space of harmony and balance and unification for the greater good. And what I mean by that is it's the amplification of the energy of those two people coming together that really not only changes both their lives, you and the other person or internally, but it radiates throughout the collective. There's this powerful bond, this powerful, I almost want to say day by day increasing, strengthening relationship that is blossoming. And that feels powerful and important, that is going to carry you through into so I'm just going with the energy here. It's going to carry you through into a lot of, the words I want to come through is wondrous, exciting experiences in the future. Some that you may be privy to intuitively, and some that may exceed any expectation that you have. But it feels like it is a very enriching connection that emanates love, that has a higher purpose, that has a bigger reason for coming together than just the two of you. And so that's how we're going to start off that reading. I just realized, oh, sorry, I just realized that I dropped a card. And so I'm going to read them backwards because that's how it's sort of, so then we've got the crucifixion card. So I want to say, in relation to that particular card, when we talk about this beautiful connection relationship and this, where it's kind of landing in May and June and beyond, I feel like it hasn't been easy. It's been a challenging path for the two of you individually and together. Or if this is just for you, the unification process has been incredibly challenging. And it feels like there's this like multiple death and rebirth kind of energy that has got you to this point. So that part, I just want to acknowledge that, well done for getting to this point. And I feel like those who are receiving this message would already know and feel that and go, yeah, yeah, it's been intense. Many plot twists, many changes, but it feels like this part now, I feel like there is a process that is being broken down ultimately so you can access a greater sense of love, purpose, heart space, emanation, higher frequency. But there's this kind of breakdown of being crucified of the old or outdated version of yourself. And I feel like very specifically what comes to mind, or what's being pulled in, is sense around your own personal identity. So it's very, like, I feel it in the stomach and the solar plexus. So it can be recalibrating your own masculine energy. Funnily enough, because we've got all that beautiful feminine energy, it may be this kind of completion of this shift in the masculine energy, whether that's in both of you or in your dynamic, or could represent both. There's that shift that's occurring. And so it's wanting to leave the old and outdated versions of self in the past, knowing to not re-engage with who you were. It's like, not, I guess what wants to come through is, don't dwell unnecessarily of the path that has been. This is like a time of cutting, disconnecting, re-emerging in this new state of divine masculine strength, and knowing and owning who you truly are, and like being reborn in that. So that's I know that's sort of going down a bit of a tangent there, but ultimately it's like, whatever this squeeze is, this like final component to allow you to get into this more state of unity and harmony, is it's like this energy, I feel like it's pushing, it's squeezing from the stomach, the solar plexus, because it wants to land in the heart, and it wants to unlock many different facets that have laid dormant within the heart space. So accessing, as I say that, this is pure frequency that's I can see that's coming through in the heart space. It's gold, it's pink, it's purple. It feels like it's connecting to the truest sense of yourself. It feels as though it's I almost want to say it's beyond anything that you've had access to this point. In a very grounded way. Because as I said that, I've kind of like flash up my own reference point of being in a profound energy and how ungrounding and unstable that was. But this feels different. It feels soft. It feels gentle. It's the words that are coming through is it's being in a space of all knowingness for you. Soul, all knowingness. And I'm just getting so many flashes right now as I say that. There's so this may be like tapping into your multidimensionality, tapping into you know, soul aspects, past life aspects. I know that I'm working with the Magdalene cards, but I'm just seeing so many depictions of like around the characters throughout the biblical times. So there may be a strong connection to you with Christianity, or what I'll say the true origins of Christianity. And really just knowing that this journey that you've been on is really about pathing towards your own ascension. So I just keep seeing images of Jesus across, which is really random for me. But it's what it's highlighting in what I'm seeing is that the crown of thorns around the head. And I'm just going to see what the biggest pressure on my head is. I'm seeing that. Yeah, it's birthing new states of Christ consciousness within you and accessing these new states of higher consciousness through this connection, through this internal phase that you're going through. It's actually really beautiful energies. I'm going to share a secret. I've been sitting here shuffling these cards, and I've done a big no-no, but every card that was in the previous reading in card A has fallen out, and I was like, no, this is a totally different energy and vibration. But I kid you not, nearly every single card has come out, and I refuse to go down that. So what I will say is perhaps maybe go and watch A if you feel inclined to, because I feel like we're going in a joint story here. So let's just see what else wants to come out. All right. Oh no, that's far too many. Far too many. We'll go. All right. Excellent. Okay. Crown chakra and responsibility. All right. I'll show you those two cards here. Get them. Oh, in focus. There we go. So crown chakra, pretty straightforward and simple. The first thing that's really highlighted to me in that card is that it's a number 43. So number 43 creates a 7. We're in a 7 year. And I think that energy has been really prevalent amongst many people's journeys. It's a very inward number. It's one of reflection, of spirituality, of connection, being able to balance the spiritual world and the physical world. But in this, I feel like there's this, as I was talking about, this open expansion of consciousness, Christ consciousness, massive, I want to say massive energies pouring in throughout the month. So this feels very etheric. giving you a wider lens, a bigger, broader perspective view of, okay, all right, the energies that are coming through, it's like coming through into like a life or lives review. But that feels like it's actually very insightful, joyful. So it's access, and there's a lot of pressure I've got around my third eye and around the crown. So this is like energy of all these images coming in. It's like a movie reel. So it may be part of this process for you throughout this month is being able to access more psychic information than you ever have before. I just want to say that, put that right out there. Because it feels like what's coming through in this opening and cracking open this sort of divine consciousness is huge esoteric knowledge and wisdom, and how it specifically pertains to you and what you're meant to do in utilizing and accessing it in this lifetime. So this could be creating a whole new body of work. It could be accessing information just specifically for you. It could be, I mean, there's so many ways that this energy and information can be utilized, and that's going to look different for so many different people. It can be in the form of like writing a book or blog post or putting that information out there. It can be sharing it. Like I feel like there's this sharing it with others is important, whether that's small groups and people that are close to you or on a platform, that will be up to you. But it just feels like the knowledge, the wisdom, the energy that's coming through is so important, and it's what you're meant to do in this lifetime. It's part of your path. And combined with the card of responsibility, so self-discipline, empowerment, reliability, and fulfillment, which I guess that goes hand in hand. But it's this, it's cultivating, it's captivating, it's holding precious, something that's really precious, and nurturing it, watching it grow. And it's taking good care of it. The responsibility card is, it feels like you've got to a point on your path and in your journey where you have learned and not learned, allowed or given access to being able to download this frequency, this information, how it's delivered to you, because you've been able to go through the depths of the shadow, come into this good space where you understand and hold the responsibility to be able to utilize and access this knowledge in the way that it was originally intended and destined to. I feel like I shared that in the last update, talking about how, having the responsibility to work with our gifts, our abilities. Okay, I've never seen this card before. So it's will. So is that your divine will being expressed? So we've obviously got the turtle, expression, assertiveness, self-control, direction. So I think the key word that has come out in there is it's moving you into a new trajectory, or furthering on a pathway. It's giving you sense of purpose and direction and where to take this information with the responsibility and move it forward. And this, I want to tie that back into the partnership and the connection. I feel like the relationship, the partnership is the catalyst for this to come together. So this might be something that you're working with in divine counterpart connection. It may be something that you're doing just on your own, but it feels like the connection, the interaction, and where you've got to in that place within yourself, your divine union, or within a partnership is the catalyst for this body of work and what wants to come through as a part of that, which feels very exciting actually. What else have we got here? I'm going to use these cards. So the turtle might be relevant or significant for you in some ways. when I look at the turtle, obviously the first thing that comes to mind is like slow and steady wins the race, and that may be significant for you, or it may be indicative of how things have been in the past, you know, this kind of slow, steady plodding along, and you may be moving into a time, there's a change of speed, there's a change of pace. So it may be that things have been slow and steady and now they move into a space of acceleration potentially. But it also could be the opposite. Maybe things have been really fast paced for you, going, you know, 100 miles an hour, and now it's like in this more steady, grounded, slower pace in comparison, but still has a lot of precision to it. It's diligence. It has a lot of moving with key precision, diligence, and like every decision, every action is very strategic, planned out, carefully planned, and done with the utmost integrity and to the highest level of work. So I'm really curious what this is speaking to. Okay, now I'm like shuffling and they don't want to come out, so I'm just moving on to the next deck here. We have 2 cards. Oh, okay, awesome. I was about to say, please don't be the ones from the first, but they're not, totally different. We've got, oh, that's perfect. We have the 3 of coins and the 9 of cups. So I'll just hold them up there so you can have a look. So just following on to what I was saying just before with the 3 of coins, is a purposeful action. So steady, exactly what I was saying. There's this like purposeful action moving forward with everything feels very graceful. If you look at that image that I just showed of that card, you know, she's balancing on this skateboard that has 3 wheels, you know, but just like flowing along, streaming along, everything's kind of in flow. You know, there's precision, there's direction, there's clarity, there's focus. There's a lot of blue in that card. So I almost want to talk about like the channel, like purposeful action in how you deliver, communicate, channel, write, express. There's this deliverance that's very articulate. So it feels like words are important in this project or this divine inspiration, how you're going to move with this soul work, essentially. And we also have the relationship list. So we've got more relationship cards tying in. So 9 of Cups is more about personal fulfillment. So this is, I want to say, aligning with personal fulfillment and destiny in what it is that you came forward to do in this lifetime, and receiving accreditation or recognition for this work, maybe where you haven't done so before. That feels like, and that could be publicly, or it could just be someone who you really care about giving you recognition that you haven't received before, which changes things for you a lot. Which is opening up new opportunities, new pathways, new doorways. We've got the 7 of coins. So this to me is a windfall, an opportunity that's unseen, that brings in abundance, financial, I was going to say financial goodwill, but that's the same woman in each. Oh, I love this. I'm going to show it's the same woman wearing the blue dress. See if we can, the blue dress with the yellow. The blue and the yellow seem very, very significant. Sorry, I've totally lost my train of thought now. I just noticed that. I was like, oh, it's the same blonde haired. blue dressed woman. So I'm just going to go into the seven of coins, opportunities, a lot of opportunities knock at your door, and ones that haven't been considered before. Oh, that rhymes. Okay. So feel into that. I also want to say with that, pay attention to your dream space or how you receive intuitive insights, because I feel like something has been aligning to you, coming through, wanting to get your attention that maybe you haven't put too much emphasis on. And I feel like that's in how you deliver it moving forward, like what is the execution style of how you put out this information, this collaboration, this beautiful energy of this divine consciousness that's coming through you, that's pathing your way. The other thing that I wanted to say that came to mind was like in terms of fulfilling your soul's destiny in this lifetime and stepping up and stepping into what it is that you're here to do on this planet right now. Um, um, I had a conversation with my father this morning, and he said something that kind of sat with me, and I want to share this because I think that will be important for someone. He was talking about people who have near-death experiences or NDEs, and how they go through that process of the life review that we do when we exit this reality. But these people, obviously, they go and they come back and they get to see from that bigger perspective. So this may be something that's insightful through the month of May or through this process for you. Oh, sorry, I've dropped the cards. And he was saying that a lot of the times in these stories, people will realize that what they haven't accomplished. They will get the understanding of why they came here. And obviously, when we come here, we go through the river of oblivion, which means that we have amnesia, we have our memory wiped until the time where we, come back online. And so, obviously, for people who go through near-death experiences, that is their wake-up call, alarm clock, as I like to call it. But basically, what I was getting at was that after they have these life-changing, profound moments, they come back and they kind of get into gear to do whatever it is that they came forth to do that they hadn't already done. And what I said to my dad was, isn't that a great way to live life? You don't have to go through a near-death experience just to, reevaluate and go, who am I? Why did I come here? And what haven't I accomplished? Or what is it that I'm yet to accomplish that I kind of wrote in my original soul blueprint? And align with that and do that. So I guess why I'm sharing that long-winded story with you is that maybe someone needs to hear that. But I just thought, what a great way to kind of, live our lives to our fullest expression and think about, if that day was to come and it was my time to exit, and I'll get into another thing that's just come into my mind, have I accomplished all that I have come here for? And use that as a motivating drive and force of not about anyone else but yourself and why you chose to come here. And I guess what I want to say is basically with the energetic climate, I feel like we're getting to this end of this 3D paradigm. And so perhaps, how do I say this in brief? Perhaps there's a lot of things that still need to be completed, potentially, maybe not. But I think this is a general term for all of us, that as we make this transition, maybe there's still lessons that we have to complete, or experiences that we need to go through in this level of density. Because let's face it, we are in the hardest place ever, and we chose to come here. So that in itself is badass that we're here during this time. So yeah, think about it like that. Wake up and asking of self-inquiry of what is it that I still want to experience before we go through this shift? Or if it's the other on the ladder, it's like, was my soul come forth to do, especially during this time. So that was very long-winded. I hope that resonates for someone. I'm sure it will. It'll be for someone, maybe quite specific, but okay, so let's just go into the last round of cards. We've got Beyond the Mind, the Ether, and Loving Compassion. All right, I'll just show those cards. Aren't they stunning? These are the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck. Straight away, there's a beautiful blend of messages that come through all three of these cards. So when I look at Beyond the Mind and the Ether and the Loving Compassion, to me, it's very much a soul, heart-to-heart connection, whether that's with you and your soul and your higher soul, or in connection of divine partnership. But it feels like that is the core basis of the focus and priority of this month, is that connection with the divine, the beloved, however that relates to you, and filling you up with immense love and compassion. This downloads, or the connection of that awakening, that Christ consciousness within you, working with the unseen, working with the ethereal realms, and allowing yourself to go beyond the logic mind to really trust into the intuitive hits. How, and I feel like this is also what's, it's like a refining of how you interpret data and information, and refining your own translations of that. It feels like maybe, because I'm seeing a lot of sacred geometry coming through. So it's like learning how to process data and information in a new way, because this connection, this energy, this essence, this project, this information, however that relates to you, how it's coming through, maybe in a different way than it has done in the past. So I think that this enables you to redevelop and redefine your skills in how sorry. Oh, that hit me in the throat chakra. All right, there's definitely a message behind that. How you refine the output, how you refine the expression. So for some people, this could be like singing, channeling, light language coming through, because it's like being that conduit, that pure vessel and channel. Feels like it just wants to blast out through the throat. Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness, I can really feel that. I'm just going to sit with that for a second. It feels like, I almost want to say it feels like it's a privilege and an honor, or that's maybe how it feels to you when it comes through. It feels like it's new abilities, new gifts, or a developing of that that's coming online. It's going to enhance your work tenfold. And it feels like, yeah, this beautiful mix and fusion between you and another, whether that's on a soul to soul connection or in human embodiment. It's because I'm just seeing this spiraling of two energies like dancing and playing together. So it, that's going to look very, very different for a lot, anyone. It could just be a connection with you and the divine that brings through that beautiful gift to the world. It feels like that really wants to be shared far and wide, and it's like on the brink or on the precipice of new paradigm creations that's coming through you. So I think I'm going to leave that one there with that. So I hope that reading has helped you in some way. I hope that has sparked some inspiration, or just simply, as I was saying in the beginning of the video, that it has simply just confirmed your own intuition. So thank you so much and wishing you a beautiful May into June. All right, so let's go to the lucky last. So card C. So if you've chosen this one, this will be card C for June and July. Oh, okay. There's a bit of a slip there. May into June, but this may be covering the next 3 months for you. Yeah, okay. Yeah. There'll be themes that will thread out throughout the next 3 months. Pay attention. Already, before even getting into the cards, I feel like the energy that's coming through or presenting is embarking on a new pathway, new doors opening, presenting new glimpses, new insights into having purpose, clarity. I'm just seeing I'm seeing an image of like windows opening and like a lot of light coming through, but it's like when you pierce beyond the veil of that, being able to see beyond that bright light, there's it's like a vision of what I would call new earth. Wow. It's just really vibrant colors. Seeing into the future, I guess, is what's coming through, which is igniting a new pathway for you, because being able to see crystal clear into having dreams, experiences, meditations, visions, crystal clear into the future. Something's going to occur this month for you that's going to enable you to see your own future. It's like a gift that's been given to you so that you can see. Yeah, okay. All right. Being able to see yourself in a future vision that allows you to move beyond the current horizon. So moving out of a space right now where there is, because I see someone in like a very sort of chaotic, turbulent energy. And it's like in that moment, it kind of feels like when you ask for guidance or ask, what's the solution? How do I get out of this? Or I'm sick of this, whatever it is. It's like you're then given this gift from the soul, the higher self, showing you. I feel like it's a real experience. I don't feel like it's just a vision and meditation. I feel like however this comes to you, it's like you get transported in time to have a very real experience of your future self. So this theme that's coming in, connecting with the future self. Interesting. And just through that experience alone is going to change a lot of things for you. It'll change your energy. It will change your perspective. It's like a paradigm shift moment that happens to you internally. Okay. All right. I'm just going to pull one more card. So far, we've got acceptance, universal Christ, and sacred sexuality. Just gonna pop that one here. All right. Okay, so just furthering on from that message, I'll show the cards. So we have acceptance, we have a secret, we have universal Christ, and sacred sexuality. All right, cool. Not in any particular order. Acceptance. I feel like, just furthering on from what I was saying before, actually, I like working with the visuals. I don't really necessarily like, I don't read cards. I only do this on YouTube just as props. But actually just the way that I work in my sessions and how I do things is I read energy. And I extract a lot of specific details through that. The acceptance card feels like it comes up first because it's very much getting to a point of surrender, acceptance, and understanding. Oh, okay. This once comes through. Understanding your true nature, and also understanding the true nature of this false matrix reality, or seeing through the illusion of what has been in the past, how you've got to this point, and how, like, that's where the paradigm shift changes. It feels like it's very much an internal process that occurs within you, where you come to this stillness, this place of surrender. It's like a deep exhale, and it's like, and that Abraham Hicks has just like popped into my head. I am where I am, and it's okay. Oh my God, that was like, for me, that was like in the mid 2000s when I used to listen to that, and that mantra I used to use over and over. It was like, oh, okay, yeah, I am where I am, and it's okay. Just allowing the accepting of where you are, finding that stillness, that center point within you, and it's like handing over what you can't control and accepting where you're at. And it feels like there's this shift, this paradigm shift internally, and it feels like I'm going to jump straight into the secret card, because it feels like uncovering secrets about yourself. That's how I feel I want to interpret this card, is uncovering false illusions, false narratives, false perceptions of self. There's this uncovering to get to that point of stillness and surrender. It's like unpacking these layers, and it feels like this probably has been an ongoing part of your path for quite some time, this unpacking of false illusions of self-identity, falsehoods that you've created about yourself that just aren't helpful. And it's like, as they're unpacked, it's like shedding all these layers that allows you to get to this like really pure, pristine version, or like bare. The word bare wants to come up. It's like there's no there's nothing left. It comes back to this nothingness, so that you can access this true version of yourself, this true pristine energy, this soul connection, this the true understanding of the nature of reality. And it's like, as you get to that point through a lot of friction, that's when you have this experience that I was talking about in the beginning, this like being completely transported into a future realm, a future version of yourself, in what I like to call New Earth, to be able to get a glimpse and a tangibility and experience that you can connect to that timeline and energy, and then come back, and that really changes things quite rapidly. As I've said that, is like I felt this energy pull in the heart. It's almost like this string that's like pulling you. It's like the future version of yourself. It's like pulling you, like, come, come, come. All right, cool. So the next two cards, we've got the Universal Christ and Sacred Sexuality. Yeah, I almost want to associate these two cards in terms of like that future experience, or what's coming through for you, and it's also the pathway that joins to connect to there, is like in that moment, in that experience, or deepening the connection that you have to the universe, Christ consciousness, your higher self. And it's utilizing or accessing the energies of sacred sexuality And that can, that's a very big, bold, broad statement, because that can and does look different for everyone. But ultimately, if you get to the core of the energy of sacred sexuality, it is the most potent and profound way to manifest. And it's out by our true nature, by being able to utilize that creation energy, whether that's in a partnership or within ourselves. That is what moves mountains and creates magic. And I think that that's something that we all have access to, yet we've all forgotten how to manifest, working with our own internal energies and amplification of those energies. And I think that's what is a big part of what's been hijacked on this planet and not taught. All those teachings have been lost or hidden away, and only the elite have been utilizing that. But that's part of that paradigm shift, and that maybe you're on the precipice of reinstating all that knowledge and wisdom within yourself. But anyway, I'm going on a bit of a tangent here. This energy, let's keep it really basic, very simple. This energy is through this experience of connecting with the future version of yourself, it's enabling you to access the pull, the draw, and the igniting a passion, power, potential, manifestation, creativity, really activating the sacral and the heart. I feel like those two are joined. And the divinity within you to establish this new pathway and where you're heading into the future. No wonder I said in my fraudulent slip in the beginning that it would probably span over the next 3 months, this reading. I feel like this, what wants to come through is, I feel as though what you get a glimpse into is not like massively down the line in the future. It's not like years away. I feel like this insight is taking you to a point in the timeline that may be just several months away, and that you may go through several of these experiences. So you may be shown like a couple of years ahead and then sort of backtrack from there. It's because I'm seeing like working with timeline therapy. So that might be something that is useful for you to access. Timeline therapy, as I understand it, is working with, well, there's many different versions of timeline therapy, but my personal version is working in sort of a progression state. So we know what regression is going into the past. Healing the past. Progression is going forward, accessing the future timeline, whether that be energy or vision, and then working back. So it's working the timeline from where are we heading, where is the ultimate goal, and then being able to then work backwards in the steps to get there. And I feel like a component of that works with divine connection within yourself and this kind of sacred sexuality power. So there could be elements of relationship and divine partnership connection here, potentially for some. I know that that's been highlighted a lot in my sessions recently, for when I've done divine partnership sessions, that there is changes that are occurring over the next couple of months in relationships and partnerships, which is quite exciting, especially when I get the same message kind of repeated through multiple sources. So yeah. Okay, so I've just pulled out a couple more cards here. I've got intelligence and money. I just want to pull one more. Oh, I just realized that these must be Australian cards because the money is Australian notes. I'll show you the card in a second. Okay, this is now painting the story. Oh, okay. Wow. All right, so we've got intelligence, money, pleasure, love, and home. All right. So, as I was saying, we've got Australian current. I said that very Australian, didn't I? My accent really came out there. Australian currency. So we've got intelligence and money. We have pleasure and love. Yep. Dog. And we've got home. There's the final card there. Okay. Whew. So just running on where we were. Okay. So that as I've just looked at these cards, what I'm taking in is working with whether it's timeline therapy or having this experience or insights into the future. I feel like what that is going to show you is around these themes: money, abundance, finance, intelligence. I feel is more about working with knowledge, information, higher learning, education, learning new skills, reawakening or remembering new skills. Pleasure, so there's a softness and a gentleness there of receiving. I don't know, when I look at that card, when I look at closer, it's not at all, but the first thing I saw when I looked at that card was Cleopatra. So maybe that's a message for someone there. But I just feel this connection to indulgence and pleasure and being cared for, being looked after, being very secure, having beautiful moments shared with people that you love, enjoying the simple pleasures, feast. Like, that's what I'm actually seeing in my mind. These like exuberant kind of feasting and like good nourishing food. Obviously love, the receptivity of being able to share and receive and give love. And that feels like a very family oriented card for me, even though it's the image of a dog, so it could be around our beloved fur babies and animals. But to me, instantly, like, there's this feeling or sense of family and, you know, yeah, animals. Like, I just see a home setting environment, you know, with children and animals and a partnership. And then obviously the final one is home. But I feel like the home has many different meanings that has come up several times of late. So maybe this vision or insight of what you're working towards, or what you get the insights towards, is around that really covers off every aspect of your life, doesn't it? You know, we've covered all those topics, and it feels very warm, it feels very cozy, it feels very fulfilling, relaxing, and it feels like having this experience or tapping into this gives you a sense of peace ultimately. And I'm just seeing this river, this energy of energy vibration, but it's like water stream. And I almost want to, what's coming through with that image is it's like being able to access this future timeline, being able to access the information, the vision, or the experience, however it presents. We'll just call it the future timeline to summarize. It's almost like instantly from that moment, things start to flow in cohesion, and it's almost like the stream. You get to kind of move towards this vision effortlessly. It's like the stream picks you up, and it's like you connect with the energy, and the vibration pulls you in this soft, gentle flow. And it feels like it's vastly different in comparison to what life has presented to you up until this point. So this paradigm shift moment that you go through, and being able to flow with the stream, and sorry, that's my dog. She's been standing out in the rain. So there's this gentle flow that kind of nurtures you and takes you to this place, and it feels like a lot of aspects in your life are in flux or changing already, and that could be around any of these areas, but it feels like at least three. So whether finances, love, home, maybe, or it could be a different combination of like work, internal sort of connection of pleasure. But it feels like there's this shifting and changing that's occurring to kind of create space to move you into having this life defining moment, moving down this trajectory. And it feels like it's almost picking you up and taking you to where you are always destined to be, where you're meant to be. It's actually really beautiful. I feel like it's coming through in this reading, but I also feel like this ties a lot into the energy update report that I put out last week, of just moving into vastly different times as we click into the second part of 2023. I think that a lot of people will experience that. Oh goodness, these cards are just amazing. And I almost want to say to you, like, you deserve this. You deserve every aspect of what is all the goodness that is coming for you. Honestly, it feels like you paid your dues. And as I say that, there's almost like this sense of a wave of emotion that comes in, of like a sense of relief and knowing. Those emotional tears of what I call truth tears. Okay. So here we've got justice, honorable choices, the magician, and the high priestess. Oh, well, no feminine cards. Interestingly enough. I'll just put them up here so you can have a look. See them? Oh. Okay. Justice. Libra energy. Libra might be significant for you, or this could be coming into fruition around the time of Libra, which is okay, that's September equinox is the beginning of Libra, which is September, around September 23rd, I believe. So September 23 may be significant for you. But I want to say between then and now, there's this balance, scales. Yeah, divine justice coming through, scales tipping, things coming into balance, back into order. This could be related to legal, this could be legal matters, this could be financial matters. Doesn't necessarily have to be, but it only because of the scales and the justice and Libra energy. It could just be in your life having more balance, more equilibrium, and sort of moving down that pathway and trajectory of feeling more in balance day, as each day unfolds and progresses. So that's an interesting card we have there. We've got the magician and the high priestess. So very, very powerful cards we've got coming through here. Being in your strength, so it's like coming into that balance and equilibrium, or having things sorted externally and having balance and justice come in. This almost feels like a collective reading, to be honest, but it is going to be very representing for many people, I think, in different ways, but I feel like it's a bit of a collective reading. It's like standing strong in your truth, in your power, and allowing the magical essence of you to really step forward. The high priest or priestess, that the one that takes no nonsense, no BS, knows who you are in essence, and what you're here to do. And there's this commanding energy that wants to come through, this powerful knowing your worth, being able to work with alchemy, creating your own abundance, working with magic in however that lands to you. But it's like almost igniting ancient skills and knowledge of what you've already done in the past. So how you know to step into that. How to step into, well, obviously that person of power in influence, but it's this way shower energy too. It's this one who lights and illuminates the ways for others, that has a powerful impact on others and those around you, whether it be family or community or on a larger scale. So this is wow, there's many tiers and many layers to this reading. I feel like I've jumped all over the place. There's very I'm just looking at the colors here, so there's a lot of indigo, there's a lot of blues and greens, so you know, heart, throat, third eye. The words I want to come, it's just commanding your power and stepping into that and being that authentic version of yourself that maybe even like intimidating or scary to yourself or those around you, because it's like there's walk-in energy that's just come through. It feels like a soul walk-in energy, and I'm not talking about an additional soul. It's like what I talk about is our higher self steps in more and more. So it feels like there's this powerful presence of you that wants to step forward, that is going to help streamline that path that I was talking about before, and moving towards the fulfillment of your destiny and that future vision. But it's like perhaps that's part of what wants to come through. Just going back to the start and kind of relaying, it's like perhaps it's a connection to your higher self that allows you to have that future vision or experience, working with the timeline therapy, giving you insight into what's coming forward for you. And it's like as you work with the connection of that energy day by day, or however that oh, I love it how these cards just drop in, is what is supporting you in achieving and getting to, in essence, home. And what I didn't share in the additional meaning to home is home can mean a lot of different things. Home for some people is New Earth. Home can be reuniting with a foreign land that is more home to you than where you were raised. Home can mean a whole new space, planet, dimension. And I always say that we carry the essence of home within us. So that also might be a message to consider or ponder, is like connecting with the home essence within you and allowing that to carry you to expand that energy and to then live in that vibration more permanently. So in the final round of cards that I'm bringing through, we have the Soul Star Chakra, so merging with the divine, which I think really beautifully complements what I was just talking about in that higher self soul walk-in or merging occurring, you know, merging with the divine aspect of yourself and allowing that power to step through you, that strong presence, maybe not power, but strong presence. As I said, it might be intimidating to begin with, to feel that level of, I know I've had many times in my life where I have felt this, what I call an aspect of my higher self step in, and what it does to me physically is like my whole body starts to shake and I can feel the power of it. But I also have this thing where I feel my eyes light up. It's almost like they're filling up with this bright, luminous energy and light. And in those moments where I feel that presence come through, and I have felt it off and on all my life, ever since I was a child, the power that comes through is almost like a little intimidating to myself, because I know that I'm unstoppable in that moment. So it's really connecting with that version or aspect of you, allowing that to come in, who's unstoppable. And then we have Oh, the Realm Bridger. Okay. Okay, cool. I feel like I want to show that card for a little bit longer. Might be something in it for someone. One who bridges the realms. So very much a big part of this is potentially walking into realities or two worlds, and one who is bringing the frequencies of the new earth, the new vibration in to this reality. So part of this experience could be that you are someone who has a very important purpose and mission that, you know, blends the realities, brings the new or the original, the organic back to life. I know these are Lemurian cards, but yeah, I just had this sweeping feeling or sensation of Lemurian energy. So that may be something that you want to connect with deeper throughout these months, and through it might be the Lemurian aspect of you that you want to connect with, that high priestess or that version of you. But it's like, I know that a lot of people talk about the new earth being like the new Lemuria, and I think there's definitely truth to that. So it might be being able to kind of invoke feelings and sensations around that version of you. But in essence, it's bringing the higher version into this physical reality, which is incredibly beautiful. All right, I'm just going to bring one last card, and then we're going to wrap up. I feel like this video has gone incredibly long. I have no idea, but I feel like I've been going for at least an hour and a half, which it was originally meant to be under an hour. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. One last. Beyond the mind. Oh, okay. Loving compassion. These two cards identically came out side by side, I think, in the last reading. So you may want to go back to see. There might be something in there for you. Beyond the mind. Okay, so final note, final messages. Allow yourself to play in the realm that goes beyond linear or logic mind, through the experiences that wish to come to you. Allow them to flow directly into your heart, into your knowing. Allow not only the vision and the action and all that, but allow yourself to be permeated in the heart, soul, essence, energy of feeling the love, the compassion, the wise guidance of your higher self, your soul, to become one with you ultimately. And it's like through that simple practice right there, just taking a deep breath and just allowing, oh, I can feel it now in my heart, just allowing that space to open and create and be present and still. There's just so much for you. There's so much opening and unfolding for you, for your loved ones, for humanity. And so just breathe and just take it all in and just allow your feeling. I think to finalize and to summarize, allow your feelings to be your guide, to move you to where you're destined to be. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that this has been helpful for you in some way. I certainly wish you a magical May, filled with blessings and miracles and beyond. I am doing individual sessions, so if you feel that you would like support or guidance, connect with me. If you feel in alignment and resonance, all the details will be in the description box below. And until next time, just sending you so much love. All right, bye-bye.